right, guys. All right, so I'm like getting dinner together too. So I'm popping back on here after already being live because I didn't want to like make that too long. All right, so how to prevent the bullshit. All right, so I like this one. So how to prevent the bullshit. That's the easy answer. I'm just gonna give you a one sentence answer and then get off here. I'm just kidding. Call them out. All right. So I always encourage not going into IEP meetings. Scott, hand me 2 plates right there.
Okay.
Is not going into IEP meetings anymore physically. All right. And the reason I say that is because not for any reason of going in physically or anything happening, but just for the simple fact that why not be comfortable at home, right? I mean, there's been times where now I'll be in my office in an IEP meeting. Sometimes I'm sitting on my couch in an IEP meeting. Sometimes I got crap all over my living room floor in an IEP meeting. It just depends on the meeting, And so, it's a matter of like just me. Number one, I have to be online, obviously. But number 2, it allows you to. Okay, so let me show you this. All right, so whoever said this, hi, how are you? But obviously you're on the group and that's fine. That's great. But I need you to click that link so that I can know who you are. Okay, that is in the link for you to come on here, but I can also post it for you as well. Let me grab it real quick for you. All right, here it is. All right, so I'm going to put it into the comments for you. Okay, there you go. Did it give you the link? Yeah, there's the link. StreamYard.com/Facebook, whatever. I think that's it. But let me know if you have any problems and all. Here, let me see if I can just click the link. Here's the link. There you go. So there's the link. All right. Okay, so here's the deal. Is one of the things I have found, and this is a requirement, and they actually have to do it, is in an IEP meeting online, it has to be carried out as if you were there. All right. So number 1, if they have everybody around a table or whatever in the same room, you need to be able to see them all. Tip number 1, you better be able to see all of them. If not, tell them to move. I do. I can't see all of you guys. Who all's there? I can't see you. Can you all introduce yourself, please? I can't see you. Can you bunch up together so I can see you, please? All right. Number 2, do not put up with, this is tip number 2. All right. Do not put up with them doing this. I ask questions. All right. When I say I attack, I really don't attack. Okay. I don't like attack somebody. But what I do is I call it attack. So if you guys hear me say attack, okay, just know I call it that, but it's really not attacking somebody. Okay. It is when I'm attacking somebody, it's when I'm very quick with my questions for a specific reason and purpose. Okay. And I want those answers. I want to see how fluent you are in responding to me. Okay. That's what I'm doing. If you can't be fluent in the way in which you're educating my child, then I'm not sure you're a good fit. Okay. And I'm also going to be able to know by asking those questions if you're bullshitting me. Comes out so clear. It's like laying a canvas. All right, put them down.
All right.
It's like laying a canvas. All right. You lay this beautiful canvas of I am bullshitting you. Hear me roar. Mm-hmm. All right. So I don't do bullshit. So when that happens, okay, then I say, all right, so what you just said to me is, and I repeat it, Do you want to change that in any way, shape, or form? Or is that what you're going to say on record? Because I just want to make sure that, and there's been times, guys, I have said to anybody within the district, when I know they're lying. Okay. So I will say, I just want to make sure. I'm sure, and I'll say this, I'm sure somebody here told you not to talk. Okay. But between you, this is what I'll say in a meeting. But between you and I just want you to know you're still a standalone. Okay. Because if you ever had to hire an attorney, the school ain't paying for it for you. Okay. So my question to you is this, whatever it is. So I just want to make sure that what you're saying to me is what is true. Because if this went to due process, I wouldn't want you to have to testify and it be a false testimony. And I'll tell you, I can't tell you how many staff members totally changed what they said initially. They were like, screw the school district, I'm covering my ass. Oh yeah, got this on recording multiple times. Because think about it, what advocate says that? What advocate says, if I take your ass to due process, or attorney, all right, an attorney, attorney says it as well. If someone says that, are you going to go cover your ass and say, okay, I'm telling you the truth because I don't want to get on a stand and, the school tell me to lie and then I'm caught in this big mess. The school district ain't worth that. No. They will tell the truth. Okay? Because I think they realize that the school district is going to cover their ass. They ain't worried about yours. Think about it. All these teachers are quitting today for many different reasons. But guess what? The one reason that stays the same is the school districts treat them like shit. Okay? They tell them what to say, tell them what to do, all of these things that are so jacked the heck up. So I tell them, when I'm talking to a teacher, I'm like, look, this is just between you and I. I know everybody here, they told you not to talk. But you and I both know that at the end of the day, they ain't paying for your attorney. And if you have to go testify to this, I need the truth from you. Okay? Call them out. Okay? Call the district out. All right? Because teachers typically want to tell the truth. All right. Tip number 3. All right, hold on. Let me get Sky her plate. Tip number 3. When you are in a meeting, okay, and you are how do I say this one? I guess they're talking amongst themselves. They're not allowed to talk amongst themselves. Okay. So if you're in an IEP meeting online, which is what I like to do. All right. So if they're all talking to each other while you're talking to whomever to, get your answers and what you're doing, you tell them to stop talking. Okay. You stop them from talking because that meeting online has to be carried out as if you were sitting in that room with them. Okay. They should show their faces, but they can mute them. Yeah, they do show their faces. I don't let them not show their faces. I don't care if there's stupid names on the thing. No, I need to know who you are. You better keep your face right there. Get off if you don't want to show your face. Do they automatically record virtual meetings on Zoom or Google Meets? Let me tell you something, y'all. All right. I don't care if it's a 1 or 2 party state. Yes, they're recording. Now, I can't guarantee that. I cannot. But come on. I mean, none of us are dumb. Yes. Yes. All right. So, in all transparency, I'm in a 1-party state. Okay. But if you're in a 2-party or all party, like California, you're allowed to record the meetings. But like because as long as you give 24 hours notice, and they're a two-party state. But I got my daughter's IEP meeting tomorrow. Like, is it your annual or something? When's the last time she had an evaluation? Sarah. I'm talking to Sarah. Sorry. I didn't say your name, so you probably didn't know I was talking to you. I'm getting Sky's food, y'all, so give me a second. But so Sarah said she has an IEP meeting tomorrow. So I'm asking her when her last evaluation was, and is it an annual? So an annual, for those of you who are new at this, an annual is the yearly meeting that's required to happen that can be continued to another date if the child is being evaluated, because it would make no sense to have a meeting if they're being evaluated. You want the evaluation first. But an annual meeting, yes, I'll give you that. It is a required meeting that has to happen every year in order to review your child's IEP and everything within it. I never, ever, ever think it's okay to just meet once a year. Absolutely not. I think that's setting you up and your child up for failure, and 100% has. And I've just been doing this too long, y'all, that please don't go a year. I mean, think about it. Think about if your child's not making progress. You don't know until a year, because we all know those stupid progress reports. I had a school district yesterday tell me, well, you're going to get the progress reports. I said, no, I want the data. And get this, the attorney in the meeting, she's cool as a cucumber. This is Ohio. And everything that I asked for, she knows legally they have to give it to me. So if they argue with me about it, she's actually stepped up and said, no, let's do this. We're going to do this. We're going to get that to her. I've started asking for running records. She's all for it. And they're like, the school district didn't know what running records was. So the attorney had to tell them in the IEP meeting. Their attorney had to tell them what running records were in the IEP meeting. Yep. Sure did, because they didn't know what they didn't know what anecdotal records were either, or notes, whatever. All right. Now, if you guys don't know what that is, don't feel stupid. All right. But the school district should know what it is. Okay. So don't think that I was saying it like that, because I'm not. Because parents, we don't know that stuff. We're not born with this, manual of, okay, you're going to have your first baby. Here's the manual of everything that you do so you can do it right and be the perfect mom. All right. Because we all know there's so many perfect moms out there. I'm definitely not one. I have a 27, 22 and Sky. She's 17. I am not the perfect mom. I've made lots of mistakes. Running records is ongoing records. Okay. So literally kind of like think of them running back to back to back to back. So it's important to ask for those. I ask for report data collection. But I also like running records. Okay. Running records are very important to have. And they're just important. They're important. All right. Running records are really good for reading data, and following how the child's doing. All right. So like, they have literally, they have to have like documentation on how many cues, how many prompts, what the feedback is, how much self-correcting is happening, what written data and comprehension data do you have. Like, I mean, it's just everything. Running records is the best type of records you could ever get. Which is why, like, the school district. Hey, Anna, how are you? Oh, you can't click it. Just go to, it's called, hold on. Like, you can type it in. Hold on. StreamYard, STREAM, Yard, YARD. Aaron, do you have a copy of it? Where are you going, Sky? So StreamYard, StreamYard.com/Facebook. So like if the link's not working, just like type it in. So in my, is that you asking me that question, Anna? How long? Okay, so in my membership, that you asked when, I mean, you and other people, when is it coming out? Monday. Okay, Monday. Watch for it. So basically, I have these Band-Aids on my back because I got trigger point injections today in my back. And these Band-Aids that they give me are, oh my God, they hurt when you take them off. I want to scream. Okay, so I get them like in my shoulders, probably because I do so much like in the computer. So I get like trigger point injection. Huh? Yeah, go get it. I just reminded you. Oh, you reminded me. So you're gonna have my FERPA request. All right. So you're literally like copy paste. It's a copy paste. All right. So it's on my logo stuff, but you don't have to keep that. Just copy and paste the writing. All right. And literally that's what you send. Literally. Just like that. All right. Anna, last name, am requesting a full and formal FERPA request of all of my child's records from this date to this date, or you can say all, or you can say for the last year, or what I say is the first time, get them all, and then after that, every year. So then you always have your child's records. So you get them all, and then you have them every year. You ask every year, like, make a note for yourself that every May you're going to ask for a formal FERPA request. All right. So like say do it right now, right? And then in May, ask for it again. So you only get a couple months. So you'll say they give you the records in November. All right. So then you'll ask from December 2022 to May 2023. All right. And that's it. Right. And the next May 2023, you'll ask from May 2022 or 23 to May 2023 to May 2024. Does that make sense? So you'll always, so like if you ask for it now, then you'll ask for in May just for a couple months, and then next year in May you'll ask for the year, and then you always have your child's records. No, Monday. No, it's a membership, Christina. So it's actually where you pay a monthly fee. It's going to be super cheap. Okay. So for like 30 to 45 days, I'm not sure yet, it's going to be $39. Okay. And then it's going to go up. And it's monthly. And then if you do it for 3 months, then it's cheaper than if you did 1 month, but like, so whatever you want to do, but like, it's going to have it has a crap ton of my documents that you'll just get for free. That's on my products page of my website. And then a lot of the documents you'll get for half off. Like for example, my the top 5 laws, which is $100. It comes with a huge 2-hour PowerPoint and all that kind of stuff. You get for like $49 when it's $120. So like, but then most of my products are like $297, $497, $997. I think the most is like $1997. So you get everything half off. The only expensive one is that 5 laws, but it's really good, and it has like all of IDEA's top 5 laws so that you understand them. And then I break it down into like human terms, not educational terms, so you know how to fight for your child in the IEP meeting. And it's just called the top 5 laws in my products. And so it's not just like, a PDF and a document for you to use. It's like literally you get the copy, you get the 2-hour PowerPoint and all of that. But how long do they have to get they have 45 days by law. If not, you can make a formal complaint. And you can, a FERPA complaint, which is, yeah, human terms. Yeah. Like, it's kind of like, medical terms. We don't know medical terms, like all medical terms, right? But if someone like baby proofs it for me, then I'll get it. I was talking to a estate planner this morning. So like, here's some FYI. I'm an open book, whatever. So I was doing like, talking about, IRAs, and, I'm getting a special education, what's it called? A special education trust for Skylar. So I had to talk to her about that. And basically, a special education trust, for those of you who may be wondering what that is so many of our kids get help, like, from, Medicaid or whatever. But a lot of times it's not financial, like mine's not financial. Most of it's because our kids have a disability, right? But, somewhere down the line, things can, be different, or, you leave them money and it could be used against them to not get certain services or something. So a special needs trust protects them. So you put the money or assets into the trust, and it can't be used against them in qualifying for things. And then I also talked about like living will and, a death will. I did all that today. So living will, death will, special needs trust, and IRA and mutual funds. So like, it was quite the morning. But yeah, special needs trust is like big deal. Like, you should look into it if it's something that you need. It's something to definitely, get somebody that's qualified, usually an attorney, that needs to put it together for you. So that's kind of how that goes. Sky, you want some salad?
No.
Well, you have to have salad.
Yeah.
Bring me your plate.
Okay.
What was I gonna say?
Can I finish up by tomorrow?
Yes. Did I ever let you know about the book I ordered? Yes. Remember, you asked for a copy of the one I used or whatever, and you couldn't find it. About to go to due process with my school, probably. The membership will be amazing to have. Why? You can work it out. You don't got to go to due process. I mean, that doesn't mean you don't file and then, ask for mediation and settle. But most schools don't want to go to due process. I mean, they really don't. It's just, you got to know how to advocate to where that they're like, oh shit, Now, that doesn't mean they don't all go. They do. But there's some that go. But the goal is not to, and you wouldn't, they say hypothetically, I don't know, I don't see their bank, but I'm guessing it would be public knowledge because that's part of the budget, due process cases. So you can actually look at your school district's budget. You can get a copy of their budget, and you can find out like how much your school district spends on due process. Interesting, right? Which I think is interesting because it'll show how careless they are if they're spending a lot of money on due process when they could be spending them on the kids. So that's something to think about. Because they called CPS on me due to calling them out, and they are violating my son's rights. So they won't like step up. Like, obviously nothing happened with CPS, so CPS.
Yeah.
Anybody else cut their salad? Skylar, Mom has 83 comments to write to a school district regarding an IEP.
Yeah.
Do you want to type it for me since you're, I'll have you sign a confidentiality.
No.
Just kidding, Sky. The parent would not mind at all. You want to type it for me?
No.
Why not?
I told you.
I don't want to type it. You're so good at it. Why can't you type it for me? Huh?
I don't want to type it.
You don't want to? Why
I'm
not?
too tired.
You're too tired. Why are you tired? What'd you do all day?
I did some reading and I ate lunch. I did.
Did some reading and she ate lunch. What else did you do?
I did typing.
You did typing. And that was what made you tired? All that, huh?
Yeah.
Did you do math?
Not yet. In a couple of weeks.
Couple weeks.
Yeah.
So at Linda Mood Bell, they don't do math in the beginning with the academy. So all summer she does sensory cognitive. And during the summer is when she does that. And then she, during the school year, when she first starts with academy and like they start the beginning of August, they do sensory cognitive and then move into math. I've learned so much from Linda Mood Bell. It's not for every child, but they could not and cannot spend or charge what they do if they weren't amazing or have the science to back up what they do. But so anyway, one thing I learned from them, here's a cool tip, right? And many of you already know this from hearing me, is a child who's struggling in math, if they don't know how to read, will come to a hard stop. And if they improve and focus on their reading for a period of time and maybe even ignore the math, which obviously, in the regular school system is not possible, but it actually will support them better. So it's almost like we need to change around how the school system does things, right? Because the science behind it is solid. All right. And so that's why a lot of school districts don't like it when I have my parents go get a Linda Mood Bell evaluation because they can't argue it because of all the science behind and research behind what they do. And Linda Mood Bell will not in any way, because, if it's an IEE, and they pay for, the school district pays for the evaluation, Linda Mood Bell will not speak on the school's behalf, will not be like, oh, they're paying us, so we need to say what they want us to say. Oh, no, it's the same thing across the board. And I'm always on the review of the assessment. And it's great because you get some really solid information and you can work with that. And then I always have my parents go get another one like 6 months later, and you're able to see if your child made progress versus listen to the bullshit that you're being told. And so I think that's really important. Get some dressing, what you want. So I'm all about assessments. Not that assessments are everything, guys, okay? So you hear me talk about assessments a lot. But it really is about the type of assessments that are done. When you do a variety of different assessments and you see across the board things are very similar, you can't argue that, all right? Now, the type of assessments where I will that I don't really care for that much are like state assessments, because there's so many of them. And it's like, I don't know, they can get tedious, I guess, but they do show information, so it's not a bad thing, but it's one of those things, Who just responded that to Christina? Who is that? Who wrote this? Who wrote that? Oh, Anna. Really? You didn't tell me they called on you. Wow. That's crazy. Yeah, they like to do that. Because, who was it? I was listening to somebody. Someone was telling me about this. That I guess with CPS, she was saying that there's numbers in CPS, like how important it is. There's a level or something. I'm just going by what I was told by someone who knows this stuff, CPS, like how they're called or something. And what she said was like the school district is like, so if you call, all right, so say, Anna, you were calling on Christina. Hey, Christina's beating up her kid. You need to go check it out. All right. And then if the school district called the same day, right after you or right before you or whatever, the school district is up here. So they go to the school district first, and like going to Christina would be second because they would override. So like if the school calls CPS, then it's this big deal and stupid shit. But don't be scared, guys. Don't be scared. Just one thing that you have to think about though too is you don't have to let CPS in your house. All right, you can say no, you're not coming in. You have that right. But the one time I was called, shoot, it was forever ago, but it was because Skylar, it ended up being the swing. I told them I was going to call, and they called before me. That's just stupid. It was like, let's race to the altar. Let's call before her because she's going to call on us. It was so dumb. Like, in my mind, I was like, you guys are children. You are children. You want to call before me, when you guys are in the wrong. And then what happens? What happened? Oh, look at that. CPS went to the school and figured out what it was that was happening. And y'all dummies were the ones who called. All because you wanted to race to the altar because Raven said she was going to call on you. What did it do? It backfired. When you have bad intentions, it will backfire. Bad intentions don't get you gold. Okay? Sky, you gotta load the dishes when you're done.
I don't want to.
I don't care. You're gonna do it. Do you understand? What do you say?
The dishwasher.
Load
the dishwasher.
Mm-hmm. I don't want to. You gonna load the dishwasher? Child.
I'm getting tired.
Here, I told her she had to load the dishwasher. She was like, I don't want to. Okay, well, you're going to anyway. Too funny. Yeah, I told my CPS worker that what my school pulled, that they suspended my son due to instance that happened on September 1st and September 9th and waited till September 4th, 15th to September. Did they give you all the proper documentation when they suspended him? So when your child's suspended, there's documentation that you have to get. So if they restrained your child, they have to give you documentation. And then they have to, yeah, she's tripped. And, she's definitely got that 17-year-old mouth on her. That definitely has no filter. So yeah, it's very fun.
Busy night.
She said she has a busy night. She told y'all she has a busy night. What was I going to say? Yeah, so the documents, Christina, is, if he was restrained, then they have to have documents for that. It has to be like the date, the time, that they restrained him, what they did, and then like the circumstances of what transpired. And then, haha, not ready for teens yet. So with behavior, it's the same thing. So especially if they were suspended. So it has to be a document, and it has to have the date, the time, the date, the time, the behavior that occurred.
It just did
Um, dirty. The behavior that occurred, the antecedent, what if the child has a BIP, what did they do to implement the BIP? All right. So it has to be this long drawn out statement of
they put that in the dishwasher.
of what happened and why he was suspended. Oh, and how long he was suspended for. And then if he was suspended for more than 10 days, then you have to have a manifestation of determination IEP meeting. Well, now they don't have a choice but to do an FBA because they just suspended him for behavior. So there you go. They don't have a choice now. They didn't have a choice before if you had documentation that he had behavior issues, but now they definitely don't have a choice because they just suspended him for behavior. So then they would be in violation if they didn't do a FBA based on suspending him for behavior. Done. Does that make sense? Make sense? Make sense?
Yeah, have some yogurt tomorrow.
Well, you don't have to make I would not go to due process over that. You need to nail them with a solid formal letter. I would send it certified and I would send it, in an email and nail their ass on that one. And they'd be a dummy to go to due process over that. That's the dumbest shit ever. You can't suspend a child over behavior and not do an FBA.
I help you, Mom. You see that?
I see you, Sky.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
No, Lily. Does that make sense, Christina? Sorry, I'm feeding my dog. Come here, Rocco.
There's no room. Mom.
What?
There's no room in the dishwasher.
Make room. Leo, sit. 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 All right. So, did that make sense, Christina? What school district your kid in?
So much bigger than.
Oh. Well, it sounds like you have a solid case. A really solid case. North Carolina has one of the best school districts when it comes to this reading program right now. I'm going to do a whole live and training on it, Christina.
That's right. Go.
Great job. Yeah, great job.
I made a big messy in the dishwasher. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's so dumb. Like, look how easy it is to say. That's so dumb. That's so dumb. But then again, they do dumb shit all the time, right? It doesn't make sense to me why they would put themselves. Yeah, I got to look at the article. I'll look at it and I'll message you or something. But yeah, I'm going to do a live on it. But so there's a lot of stuff on reading and behavior are my jam, right? So like I do all things IEP, but reading and behavior is definitely speaking my language. And so the reading and everything going on right now is such a huge thing. I can't wait to talk about it. It's going to be trainings on here, free. And then obviously on my membership, we'll go into more depth on it and how to have it implemented into your IEP. Kind of like my letter that I read at the beginning of the last live. School districts fight it. They don't want to pay for anything these days. Anything. They're already being forced to do so much with compensatory services and all these things for other kids. So the last thing they want to do is for your child. So if you want it, you got to fight. So yeah, the membership, I have a lot of PDFs for you. And I'll be adding them all the time. And then you get half off of many of them as well. And then you'll have me twice a month. So that's what it will be. And then all the trainings and Zooms. So say you can't make it, they'll all be recorded. Yeah, that'd be great. So, all right, guys. So I just gave you some tips. But the main thing, this was about is like calling them out. That sounds so mean, but like, you're really not like, no, you really are. When I say calling them out, it means one of the things, here's a pet peeve of mine, is when you're online on Zoom or Google Meet or whatever, and they're near, I make them all be visual. So if there's 10 people in the room, y'all better all be in the camera or have your own computer. And I make them introduce themselves, all of that. And then a lot of times they do it on their own. And then the other thing is if they are talking amongst themselves during the IEP meeting, that comes to a stop quick. Quick. That will not happen. Because guess what? If you were there, they would not be talking amongst each other while you're talking to someone else. So it's not allowed online either. They will have the same respect. That's a pet peeve of mine. So don't think they can do that. Someone said earlier, like they'll mute themselves. Don't let them do it. Or you can let them mute themselves, but if you see them all, then you're going to know if they're talking. Does that make sense? All right, guys. I'm going to let you go. It's like dinner time and all that fun stuff here.
Did you hear me laughing?
I heard you laughing, Sky. So have a good night, guys. Yeah, so just Monday I'll post the link and then also it'll be on my website. Okay. And so yeah. It's all about teaching you what to do in the IEP meeting and being proactive in the things that you do, because I'm taking some new clients, but I'm not taking as many as I used to, because my goal is to teach you all how to go kick some ass in the IEP meeting, right? Not literally. And that's the goal, So that's what we're doing. So I will talk to you guys later. So today's what, Thursday? So I'll go live again tomorrow. All right. What do I want to talk about tomorrow? What do you guys want to talk about tomorrow? What do you guys want to learn about tomorrow? Any suggestions? What do you want to talk about? What do you guys want to talk about? What topics? Give me some topics. You guys know you have topics, right? Everybody's trying to hop off now. They're like, we have to have dinner too. They Thanks, Don. Thank you. Appreciate that. Christina, message me later to remind me because I have in California. Oh my God. I have an IEP where when I go through IEPs, when I'm done with my clients, like, or not done with them, but you know, when we're done, we've wrapped everything up and they send the final IEP when we've agreed to it on Zoom, right? I look at the IEP and then I look at it again and again and again. And I go through each page and then I make notes as to what needs changed on each page, you know, because never do I get an IEP that they just got it right? But it's small stuff. I mean, typically it's not huge, you know. If we've had a come to Jesus moment, but you know, sometimes they try their slimy shit. All right. Well, this school has tried their slimy shit, and you know what happened? What they do too is they'll change the IEP in front of you, like, oh yeah, we're collaborating, yeah, and then you get the IEP, and so in your mind you're thinking, oh, they did it in front of me, so I don't have to read the whole thing. And then guess what happens? When the school district does it in front of you, which is what we want that. The problem is, and this is what I've learned to do. Don't forget, go ahead and save that, you know, what we just worked on this whole 3-hour meeting. Go ahead and save that for me. Can I see you save it? Thank you. Thank you so much for saving it. Oh, I appreciate it so much. Thank you. So now can you send me a copy of all the changes that we made in the meeting today? Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Oh, thank you. Okay, so basically what did I just do, guys? What did I just do? Okay, if they don't save it and they're changing it all in front of you, like, oh, we're changing everything. If they don't save it, it's lost. So guess what they do? They send you the old IEP with no changes, hoping you'll sign it. Yep. Done all the time. Done all the time. These aren't things that I'm just pulling out of my butt, y'all. These are things that they do. Now, can I say that occasionally it's not intentional? Yes, I can say that. But usually they'll say that. They'll say, oh, we're so sorry or whatever. But if it is intentional, they won't say shit. You'll know if it's intentional. You'll know. Your gut tells you those things. ABA at school, difference one-on-one. What do you mean difference one-on-one? What does that mean? What's difference one-on-one? I don't know what that is. Sky. She went upstairs. Can you feed Jake real quick? Just give him a half a cup.
Why?
Because that's how much he gets.
Half a cup. I'm washing your face.
All right, finish. I want to learn what to do when a team has gone radio. What's that? Like not answer your calls or not calls, don't call. You mean your emails? Hold on 1 second. I'm going to read it. All right. What does it say? I want to learn what to do when a team has gone radio silence. The child has documented school refusal on and off since 4th grade. I've been fighting to get homebound to then develop a plan to get him back in. 13 days refusal. No. How old? How old is the student? child. Ow. I'm like doing everything in the kitchen while I'm talking to you. 13. So what's going on, Don? Like what's the problem? Like why is he refusing? Like why is he refusing to go? Are you writing? They also filed truancy charges last year. Did anything happen? No, probably not. They always threaten truancy. No. So dumb. So what happened with that? Probably nothing, right? Bullying, harassment from student staff, and men. But I think that, I mean, I don't know your whole story, but like, you know, the biggest thing's going to be, there's two more things, guys, but the biggest thing's going to be what you have to back it up. That's going to be the biggest thing. It's in the sink. It's always about what do you have to back it up. That's what it's about. So if there's bullying and all that going on, well, I believe you. We now have to figure out what do you have to back up what you just said, because if you can't prove it, you know. So that's a important part to that. So I guess I'd have to find that out from you. But so you can message me. But all right, guys, so I'm gonna go. All right, I gotta write this 83 page, or not 83 pages, but it's 83 things from a darn IEP that they didn't get right. So now I have to write this freaking document, a formal letter, if you will. Here, Sky, come get this. Her job is dishes, and oh my gosh, it's funny. All right, so I'm gonna go, guys. The documentation we supplied the court. Special ed director called to say school wants to drop charges. Tons of documentation to back. Yeah, stupid stuff, right? All right, so we'll talk to you guys later. Have a good night, and I'll be on live tomorrow. Okay. So I will be on live tomorrow. All right, guys. Bye.